between the Washington Redskins and the Buffalo Bills. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Bring it! Bring it! Quaker Omaha! Yellow, yellow, yellow!
Throwing is Cousins. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Well, partner, it's pretty simple. One thing you don't want to see defensively, on the very first snap of the game, some guy running free like we just saw there.
Heck of a start for this offense, no doubt. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, can't. 6-6, pull it high. First. Hey, seam 6.
To throw, Cousins. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Darius Leonard able to record his 5th sack of the season. You know, last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement. That's who they want to be, and they've been very successful with it.
Yeah, an opening drive sack. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
22, back 22. You must be. Hey, Charlie. 22 is coming. 22 is coming. Gun.
3rd and long for Cousins. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th. Now Greg Joseph for the field goal try. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes,
it's caught at the 10. A big play here for Buffalo. 51 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting him a few yards.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Under 10. Under Leo. Yes.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Lamar Miller his second touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. So now the Bills are going to line up here to go for 2. And after all that, he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Cousins escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Darius Leonard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
General West. Check 24. Check 24.
Play action. It's Smith. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Miles Boykin. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And as he approaches to kick it off, he might be thinking this could be a 14-0 lead with a couple of PATs as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Hey, Jahan, what are you? What's the distance? Hey, flip him. Yellow, yellow, yellow. What's that?
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Ted Ginn, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will get them one closer. Joseph now to kick this one away. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by now a hit and a loose football. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They'll run here with Balaj. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. Kalen Balaj, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Redskins have taken the lead. Joseph now to have the PAT. And the lead is now 2.
Makes the score Redskins 14, Bills 12. Greg Joseph set to kick off.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
60 Pittsburgh. Pilot, 64. Wait.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith looking for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
On second down, here's Miller. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out.
Break. 55 to Mike. Check. 55 to Mike. Come on, boy. Come on, go.
Now Smith. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Cousins. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now Balaj. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will push the lead up to 5. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Man, sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Throwing on 2nd down. Smith. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in it. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Balaj. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Redskins on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. They run it with Balazs. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
At the 18-yard line.
Ready to break.
50. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the hook.
Five.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. Watch the throw.
Ready.
Smith on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
I
got you. Sponge.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
We go. 8-3.
Hey, let's get in home.
Hey, lock and step.
On 2nd down, it's Miller. He will push his way down to about the 14. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. And this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Past the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Kalen Ballage in the final seconds of the first half. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Joseph now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to Return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ready. 60 or. Bang, 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 bang. Yo, cheetah. Deep grip.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Hey, exit.
First and 10.
Ready.
From the 50, it's Smith. They'll let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch twist.
Hey, Sam off.
Check.
Yep.
Check.
Hit it.
They'll run with Miller. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
6-yard line.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Rock it.
They'll fake it. Now Smith lets it go for Nelson. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. J.J. Nelson, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. So here comes Alex Smith as he'll lead his guys up to the line to go for 2. A shotgun snap for Smith. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's all.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Ted Ginn. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, man.
At their own 25-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit.
It's caught inside the 25. A big play here for Buffalo. 54 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
36.
On first down, it's Miller. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. That result, really no surprise. It's what we're coming accustomed to with this #1 ranked rush defense.
And you study the game. Does this bring back a few memories? Maybe the 85 Bears trying to move the ball against them, 2000 Ravens. Heck, how about the late 60s, early 70s Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings? Hard to move the ball against those types of teams.
Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
Watch the run.
Look at me. Score.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down.
It's fourth down.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on fourth down. And the gadget play here on fourth down winds up backfiring. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. Cousins going to bring up the Redskins 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 24, Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Mark 22. All day, just like that.
Cousins to throw it. It got his man complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Go.
2nd and 5 now. Cousins. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Gun. Listen to me.
54 Mike.
Right back to him on first down. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Brings up second and 8.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Bring up 48.
It's our time.
Black.
Mike 55.
Let's get it together, defense. Hot.
From the 39, Cousins flushed out right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Check the hot read.
Get it.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Off of play action. Here's Smith. Looking deep for Gabriel. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Come on, the ball. Ready?
He's got a first down and inside the midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
What you got, Heavy?
Hey, Haywood.
Give me something.
On 1st and 10, Smith. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Now it's Miller, and able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
50 to Mike. Watch the run. They're running it. Shift. Watch the shift.
Go.
Rush in. Check. Lucky.
Bam.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
The offensive line, they're getting it done.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing. And as a player, that means an awful lot.
Watch QB drop. Undercrunch.
On 2nd down now, it's Miller. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Hey, watch it. Hatchet.
Hey, lock it.
Hey, turn it up.
Now.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Brings up 4th and goal.
Let's get it.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal.
Greystone, travel.
Check 43. Kill.
Hey, Sam off.
Deuce.
And he'll get it only to about the 3 and no further as they stop him. Jesse Bates, who led the Bengals in tackles as a rookie, there to make the stop. They'll start with a give here to Ballage. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. Anthony Brown there on the tackle. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. The Redskins send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
Watch that in. Watch that in. That is right.
Go.
On first down, it's Smith. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. An explosive 38-yard pickup. He had 1 touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
Kill.
Rock it.
And they'll give Miller another crack. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Tight down. There you go. Check now.
Go.
Watch that. Right there.
Here's Miller. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th.
4th and goal.
Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. This to get it back to a 1-score game. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This will be recovered by the Redskins, and that should just about do it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
In your face.
Again, it's Ballage. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. On third down, this is Howard. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a fourth down now.
A gain of 4 yards. It's now 4th down.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Redskins, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.